Hi friends, so I've been asked to describe my day, right? So I think if you ask me, the last 2 weeks have probably been one of my most productive weeks. I think the philosophy that I have of not actually setting up goals but setting up discipline has made all the difference. So let me tell you, first thing is that I'm getting a lot more sleep than ever before. So last month I read this book called Why We Sleep. And the fascinating part of the book was that if you don't sleep 8 hours and you sleep 6 hours, then you lose 75% efficiency of your sleep rather than losing 25% efficiencies. And of course, it has been impossible to sleep 8 hours during a normal workday tornadoes. But now I'm trying to make it a point that I sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours. Having said that, my day obviously starts with exercise. I am always been a voracious reader, and something that I do every day is exercise. So I do about 45 minutes, which is about 36 crawls, 75 squats, 60 lunges, about 30 odd crunches, and theraband exercises. But it's every single day, right? So 5 to 6 days in a week, I work out. That's the first start of the day. Then I think learning is the other thing that I'm always been into. Learning is something that I actually believe in, a concept called learnability. The more and more things you learn, the faster you can learn newer things, as well as it improves the core you. So if you're a leader, you're an entrepreneur, when you learn out of the box thinking things, like I'm learning stand-up comedy, I'm learning mentalism, this all makes me a better me. So in fact, I'm writing a TEDx talk on this, how learnability is a skill which improves your core skill that you have. So I'm doing this disruptive strategy course of Harvard, which is just phenomenal. A professor called Clayton Christensen passed away in Jan 2020. He wrote this book called Innovator's Dilemma, and it's just an awesome concept of innovation. So how the three types of innovation, and I think to get out of this crisis, innovation is going to be extremely critical for companies and agencies like us. So I'm doing this Harvard course, and it's just phenomenal. I'm also part of the IMA startup committee and the chair for the committee, and I think a lot of things need to be done for startups. So I'm spending some time thinking what can be done for startups. We have our conference calls on the IMA startup committee. We are doing panel discussions with entrepreneurs and investors on how entrepreneurs should prepare for this crisis. And I think the companies and entrepreneurs who come out of this crisis with some kind of strength rather than weakness are going to actually treat this crisis as an opportunity rather than a threat. I'm at least doing 4 to 5 different video conference calls with various teams in the company. We are pitching for this large digital transformation project, which requires 15 of us come together and come out a very innovative solution of what we can do for this company. We've already had 4 to 5 different calls with them, and I'm looking very positive of how this thing can be and how creative we have been sitting at homes, coming together and doing a brainstorming session where all of us are in different locations. Is just phenomenal, right? The other thing is, I'm also on the COVID-19 committee of some of the central governments and some of the initiatives I'm involved with. So I'm trying to garner resources of Densu coming together and see how we can contribute by amplifying some of the communications that they are doing, as well as seeing how we can all come and contribute. So that's something that spends some of my time in there. I think today is a good opportunity for collaborate. So we're trying to do a lot of collaboration between competing companies. At some levels we compete, but I think this is the best time to talk to the CEOs one to one, understand the problems the CMOs are facing. So every day I try to come up with at least half an hour of some call that I do with CMO to understand the challenges they're going to go through, the company, what we can do for them. And I think it's giving me a lot of insights. If we come out of it, what are the things, the first thing we should tackle in the first 3 to 6 months after we come out of this crisis. Obviously, I have a large group of friends, so sometimes we get together on a Zoom call and just open a bottle of scotch and have a drink where all of us are on Zoom and having a drink. We have a half mall club in our building where all of us come together, sometimes play poker, sometimes just get together and have a drink. I think learning with family, I think, keeps the family together. So I'm doing a lot of learning. I'm doing masterclass.com, the Harvard course that I'm doing. I'm learning a little bit of mentalism and stand-up comedy online, as well as I think all the meals with the family, just the joy of having breakfast, lunch, dinner with the family, sitting together, having a chat, and having the ability to have lunch at home and then get back to work. It is a joy that only few of us can get. So I'm really positive of how productive I am. I'm looking forward to just getting back to the office though. I'm missing table tennis a lot. That's one thing which was a really, really big part of my life. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic, and I hope we come out of this crisis with all guns blazing, and I hope the economy gets back and we can all come together. Thank you.